we were in our swimwear, right? I remember seeing my parents, not my mom, my brother, and my mamu. They were sitting, in front of me like this, diagonally, okay? And I see my mom, and she's freaking out, okay? She's like, oh my god. And I just couldn't control my emotions, and I go, I love you too. But I always thought that someday I'm going to be a Miss India. If you are not skinny, then you're plus size. There is nothing in the middle. There is no normal sized body, But I have been pursuing acting for about 2-3 years now. I also did my first film.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Thank you. It'll release sometime this year, I'm hoping.
This is hilarious, the first one, and that is Love Found Jewels and Wealth.
Love found jewels and wealth.
Hello everyone and welcome to Chai and Glamour. Our special guest for today's interview is the gorgeous Miss Diva Supranational 2019 Shefali Sood.
Hello.
So tell me Shefali, how do you feel today?
I am very excited, but I'm also a little nervous because this takes me back to my pageant days, and it's been a very long time since I gave such an interview, so mix of both.
I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
I'm so excited and I'm so grateful, to you for having me because I love doing this, but like I said, it's been a while, so I'm excited and looking forward to it.
Same here. So Shefali, your pageant journey has been with a lots of ups and downs. You started back in 2013. And you won a crown in 2019.
Yeah.
So like 6 years. So take us through that journey.
I want to, before I tell you what happened in those 6 years, I always feel like a dream starts way before the journey actually starts. So for me, it started back in, I think, when I was in 8th or 9th grade, when I used to watch pageants. At that point of time, they used to be televised. They still are, but, the whole thing used to be televised 1 or 2 days within the crowning. And we used to watch it on TV, my family and I used to sit, imagine being in 9th or 10th, how old are you then? 14, 15 years old. I used to sit there on the, on my sofa with my parents and watch the girls give the interviews and the Q&A, and I'm like, yeah, I could have answered that better. It took me 6 years up until I started my pageantry journey to realize that aisa bilkul nahi hota hai, and it's very, very hard to be on that stage. But I always thought that someday I'm going to be a Miss India. Always. That was always my dream. It was always something that I associated with something greater than myself. And I started, a lot of people don't know this, but I'll get to that later. I started my journey with this pageant called Miss India Elite, Rubiru Miss India Elite. They were kind enough to see the potential in me when I was just a baby. I think I was, 17, 18 years old. Then again, I won a smaller pageant, local pageant. And then is when my Miss India journey started. But I think back in 2016, my father said that Miss India Delhi auditions are happening, so you should go. And I was like, Dad, I'm not ready, I'll go, I have to finish my education first, this, that. He's like, just go, And I knew nothing about makeup, hair, wardrobe, nothing at all. And I went, and obviously I didn't get selected. I made it past the first 2 rounds, but then I didn't get selected. But I was like, no, I'm not ready yet. Again, my father pushed me when I finally participated. Then I trained nicely before I came back in 17. And yeah, then after that, at 17, I was in Miss India, and then the
Diva,
rest.
18. You won.
Yes.
Yes. So in 2019, when you got to know that you will be Miss Supranational India, so what was your dad's reaction?
They were very happy. They for them, it was all the same. Miss India, Miss Diva, it was all the same. A lot of people didn't know about Miss Diva as much as they know about Miss India. I think that's only changing now. So, even today when I have to explain my title to somebody, it is a bit of a, journey getting there. That, okay, it's the same thing, but this is what happens, this is what happens. They were very excited. Winning Supra also meant the loss of my dream for Miss Universe. I had to reroute from Miss India. Because the thing is that when I won Miss India, I had never thought of Miss World. And I think that's also partly the reason, among other things, that I didn't win, because I didn't have that vision for myself. Uh, so when I was, when I was told that you're a better fit at Miss Diva and that's why this is where you need to be, and when I started preparing, I realized that what I stand for and who I am and what Miss Universe stands for are in alignment with each other. I had to sort of regroup after I didn't win Miss India. Not winning Miss India was a very big blow to me. It really broke my heart, and it took me about 2 years to really sort of get my mind back on track and figure out, okay, although I came for Diva and I was very prepared, and then I didn't win Diva also. So that period was very, very hard, and it continued to be hard after as well. So when I regrouped, I just realized that either I can come back and compete again, right, or I can take what they think that I'm right for, which was Miss Supranational at that point of time. So I chose Miss Supranational because my parents also thought that that was the right decision. In hindsight, I don't know if it was or wasn't, but it's an experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. So yeah, I guess everything happens for a good reason. And anyway, eventually I had to be here. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to pursue this dream. So like I said, I guess everything happens
Everything happens for a reason.
For a reason and a good reason.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And your gown at Miss Supranational, the blue gown, it's considered as one of the best gowns in like Indian pageant.
I
in
agree.
recent times. So any story that you have behind that beautiful blue gown?
Natasha is going to kill me. But so the thing is, they were very sure that they wanted to go for something in a darker color, like a black or a maroon. There was a lot of talk of purple. And I was like, there's no way that this is happening. I'm not going to wear gold, silver, white, purple, maroon. No way. And as a person, I am very headstrong. And I don't think that I, made it very easy, the whole process for them, because I was very stubborn that I wanted something different. And Natasha is somebody she's nothing if not, somebody who's for the queen and your choices. So she was finally like, okay, Shefali, what do you want? So then I sent them a couple of options. I sent them this very sheer gown that Bella Hadid had once worn. It was a white sheer gown. Okay. And I sent them many, many references. And finally, they're like, okay, can we do navy blue? I said, no. It has to be a lighter color. It has to be something that's never been done before in pageantry. It has to be very sheer. They're like, Shefali, there are certain restrictions, this, that. I said, this is my one time. Yeah. I have sacrificed a lot to be here. And to the organization's credit, they were like, fine, we understand, do what you want. And then Gavin Miguel, he was brought on board. And when he sketched the gown and when he showed, I actually didn't see anything. I just saw the final, look. And when I saw it, I was in tears. I remember the fitting happening at Gavin sir's house. And it was just unbelievable because that gown is what dreams are made of. I was like, there is nothing that I would change in that gown. It was so beautiful.
It was so perfect. Actually.
Yeah.
I recently saw this reel of your gown on social media.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this gown like...
And now it's been copied here and there, which is great. Right? Like, I don't mind that at all. Like, please
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I know where it started. I know that. And again, now it's been 4 years since, and again, no count even comes close in my opinion. They're all beautiful, but there was just nothing like it.
It was like, that was the moment.
Yeah, that was the moment. I wish India had done better, like I had done better. But I guess pageantry is
You did so amazing.
I mean, I did my best, and I guess that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
You were stunning throughout the competition, and I remember they announced your name in the second half of the competition.
Yes.
So I was watching Miss Supra live at that time.
Yeah.
And the first half was done.
Yeah.
And there are this pageant whole bloggers and media. They're like, no, India is not placing. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Or few of them are like, yes, we will place.
Yeah.
It's the second half, and they announced your name right after the break. So what were the thoughts going when you were waiting there? Okay, my name.
I was pretty sure that I'm going to get into top 25. I was very certain about that. I was like, if I can't even do this, then maybe I'm not meant for pageantry. And I don't know, I just had this knowing. I didn't know how far I was going to get. Obviously, you wish for the best. But I was very sure I was going to crack top 25. And I don't think the cameras captured this. But when we were in our swimwear, right? I remember seeing my parents, not my mom, my brother, and my mamu. They were sitting, in front of me like this, diagonally, okay? And I see my mom, and she's freaking out, okay? She's like, oh my God, oh my God. And my brother's okay, he's also tense. My mamu's also okay, but my mom is stressing, okay? And I'm watching her and I'm getting stressed out, but I know that I'm going to make it. So I remember from the stage, I was like, I don't care, I don't ask my mom. Ho jayega. I did this on the stage. I hope to God the cameras haven't caught it because Natty's gonna whack me. But I did it, and then obviously they announced it. Yeah, I think first or second name only after the second.
Yeah. So it was amazing. And we were so proud of you that you made that streak happen. At Miss Supra.
Yeah, at least top 25.
It's a good place.
It is. Like I said, everything for a good reason.
It happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So we talking about the moments and stories. Any story you have to share with us during your Miss Diva crowning? It was an appointment, right? So
yes, it was an appointment. Correct. I do think an appointment comes with its ups and downs. It does come with its pros and cons. The con being that you don't get the traditional pageant experience, you don't get the
traditional crowning,
yeah, exactly. You don't get all of that, although the organization did its absolute best, to make sure that we get our due as winners, Vartika, me and Varun. But you long for that, especially having been a part of pageantry for so many years. I longed for that. So
everything Shefali is like, I want to give my winning moment.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to, in that moment, okay, I was going through a bit of a personal crisis right before Supra. There were certain things that were happening in my personal life that were challenging for me, right after 2018 to, I would say up until 2021, 22, life personally was a bit of a mess, like it was hard, right? So during that time, that winning Miss Diva Supranational was a very big highlight of my life and will remain, so for as long as I live, right? So in that moment, when I was being crowned, I was like, first of all, I'm not being crowned, traditionally, so it's okay, I don't get that. My parents weren't there. I really regret my parents not being there. I think it's one of the biggest regrets of my life. To not have my parents there.
But they were there at Supra.
They were there at Supra, yes. My dad wasn't there, but my mom was. But yes, anyway. So when I was being crowned, my friends were there. Now, this is one thing that I'm extremely proud of, the friends that I have, the friendships that I've cultivated. And they were all there. And they were screaming from the audience saying, so this was at a, at a lounge, a setup.
It was all media.
Yeah. There's a lot of media. There was a lot of, it was a small gathering in the sense that there were not too many people. So anything that the audience was saying was audible to me on the stage, and anything that I would say was audible to them. So, they're yelling, they're like, Shefali, we love you, we love you. And I just couldn't control my emotions, and I go, I love you too. Even before the crown was on my head, I did this, and I think they had to cut it out of the media clipping. So they're like, what is this girl doing? But I couldn't help myself. So yeah, but I have that, memory etched in my brain forever.
Yeah, so friends are like our second family.
Oh yes, 100%. They are family. My friends are my family. And I feel like you need that to survive in a city like Mumbai. You need that in general, but especially when you're here away from
your family.
Yeah, you need friends who are your family, and you are family to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that. It gives satisfaction, to our mind and heart when we hear moments like this. Now coming back, what is the best set of advices you have heard in your journey?
So many, I would say that be yourself is one of the most cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason because it's true. Although I didn't really understand how to be myself until many years later. I think Supra happened at the exact right time in my life because I had been in pageantry before that. And while I had figured out how to behave and how to, present myself externally, what a lot of people don't know is that pageants are very hard on you mentally, in the sense that the competition is not easy, and that constant sense of comparison and judgment that you are, which is inevitable. Nobody is doing it to hurt you. It's just the nature of pageantry. Uh, Really takes a toll on you if you're not mentally 100% strong and prepared for it. And I think when you're young, there's no way to really prepare for it, no matter how much you prepare for the external part of the competition. So I didn't really understand how to be authentically myself in front of the camera and off the camera until I reached Supra. It is only when I reached Supra, and before Supra I had gotten to that point, personally and professionally, that now I know who I am and I can, stand in my power and what I represent and what I'm here to do. I also think having faith in myself was a very big theme in my life, and I think it still remains a theme in my life, because I grew up a very underconfident kid. There was a lot of insecurity, a lot of sense of comparison with my peers. So I grew up not believing in myself, and even till date, it is something that I constantly have to work on, to believe in myself and to have faith in myself. And so I just, that have faith in yourself is again a great piece of advice. Exactly. I would say they all are cliches, but like I said, they're cliches for a reason.
Yeah, exactly, it's true.
So yeah, if there's any other piece of advice that comes to mind, I will let you know. Yeah, but so far these two are.
And what is
important.
The worst advice or worst thing you heard and you don't want, like, why?
The worst piece of advice during my pageant journey,
or throughout your journey, like
just
pageants,
like
acting,
life in
modeling.
general.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there is any worst piece of advice. I think that I will say that when anybody is giving you advice, they're telling you what has worked for them, right? So they are trying to tell you that maybe what has worked for me will work for you also.
Yeah, what they see from their eyes.
What they are seeing from their, some people project, some people are actually trying to help you, some people don't really know they're projecting.
True.
But I would say that the worst thing that you can do is take an advice that you know is not good for you, in the sense that you must always have a sense of discernment. You know, when you are being given a piece of advice, you must always not like take it in your ear, and it shouldn't go straight to your heart. It needs to go to your head, where you process whether or not it's applicable to you. So I think I've made this mistake a lot in my life, where I have applied a piece of advice that someone has given to me, and not realizing that it is not in alignment with who I am and what I want in my life. So I would just say that the worst piece of advice is not advice, but just not using your own sense of discernment to make to use that advice.
This is so true. Actually, even sometimes when people give me advices, I try to take all the advices that they're given.
I think we all do that, when you're not sure of something.
Not sure, when we are doing something new, and there are so many advices that coming together.
Yes.
And it's not like they are trying to pull us down,
not
or
at
they
all.
don't want, but it's like they give us advices and we take it.
Because they think that this is the best for them, so it must work. Or they're or even when they're saying it, they're just assuming that we will use our judgment, and sometimes we just don't, right?
They're like, they've told it.
Sahi bola. Especially when it comes from someone you love and respect, then it's very easy to, someone you look up to, if it's a friend, parent, teacher, family, mentor, anybody, a family, you're just like, oh, this person has accomplished certain things in life. They are somebody I admire as a human being. So what they're saying must be true.
Exactly.
But that is not always the case.
That's all. It's not the truth. Exactly. Moving ahead, Shefali. We all know that right now there are a lot of people who question the relevance of beauty pageants.
Sure.
So, do you think that beauty pageants are relevant in 2024?
I definitely do think that pageants are going down the right path. I do think there was a period in the middle where they had become a little less relevant simply because they were not evolving. But it's not something that, as somebody who's been a part of the system, I know that the pageant organizations are always trying to evolve. It just may not necessarily show sometimes on the outside. It takes, like any change, takes time to show tangibly on the outside. So the inner workings were always there, but I think it took a couple of years for it to show outside. Like, the reducing height criteria, becoming more inclusive in terms of body.
Yeah.
So I do think that pageants still have a a very big platform that people that makes people want to listen to a
Listen,
pageant
yeah.
winner, to a beauty queen. I do think there is still a way to go, especially you
yeah.
know in our country. I do think a lot of changes can happen still, but all in good time, I guess.
Exactly, and it's a human field, right?
Yeah.
And whenever we want to make changes in a field which is run by humans,
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time, yeah. It
We
takes
take
years, exactly.
years to change in ourselves.
evolve, yeah, exactly.
So it's
So by
okay.
time it will.
Yeah, in good time. I think that we are on the right path.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And I think change is very constant to make anything relevant.
Yes, yes.
Not
Small,
even
small, small,
pageantry.
small.
Yeah, small,
वो
small.
बूंद बूंद से घड़ा बढ़ता है,
Exactly.
बढ़ता है, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Exactly. Now you talked about body positivity, body inclusive. So what's your take on body positivity?
I mean, I really struggled, you know, with my body type. When I went for Supra, and even when I competed in Miss India in 17, these 2 times were the times that I was the skinniest I've ever been in my life. Not necessarily the fittest, but the skinniest. And even then, for a lot of people, I wasn't skinny enough. You know, I was not the ideal body type
Ideal image of like a beauty queen like this.
I mean, so many. Look at all the winners.
Exactly.
I would say that they all, you know, fit into a certain type of body. You know, a thin waist, certain proportions. I never had those. You know, I was always the broader girl because my broad shoulders, my broad hips, and then there was a point of time in my life where I put on weight and I, you know, was struggling with certain issues in my body. And the industry was not kind to me. I have to say, it was really a struggle to explain to people that this is not a choice, that, you know, I just sat at home and ate food and I became fat. You know, it's not like that. And the term fat was used around as if it was something to be ashamed of.
Ashamed of, exactly.
As if it was something that is the worst thing that can happen to a woman, that you gained weight. Oh my God. And because the world was viewing me like that, I was also viewing myself like that.
Yeah.
And it really took a lot of you know, time and energy and conscious effort to get to a point where I realized that I cannot hate my body and then get fit. I have to love my body, and then I will get to a point where I'm at the fittest version for my body. And now I would say I am still not the skinniest, and I'm on my path to getting the body that I want, but I no longer identify fit as skinny.
Exactly.
You know, I would say that I'm the fittest I've been, I'm the most physically active and the most rejuvenated I've been in my entire life now. But it really was a very long and hard journey here. And I think this is one thing, if I could change in pageantry, it would be to just learn how. It's okay that they have certain standards. If they want to change that, they don't want to change that, that's their,
That's
you know,
their thing,
evolution,
yeah.
that's their decision. But just to be kinder to every body type, because really it makes the person also be very, very hard on themselves, and the public is already hard on you. So
Yeah.
it's just not a nice place to be.
Exactly. And I think by time we are, you know, making this spectrum of beauty pageants very inclusive, where
Yes.
women from different body types are coming
and being celebrated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right now there was Miss Universe Nepal, Jane
Yeah.
Deepika,
Yeah.
like a plus size, a real size beauty queen, and
Beauty
she was
queen,
in top 20 at Miss Universe.
You know, there's another very big problem that I have, not with pageantry, just in general in our society, especially in the fashion entertainment sector, that if you are not skinny, then you're plus size. There is nothing in the middle. There is no normal sized body. You know? I mean, okay, there is a plus size category, sure. There is a, you know, skinny, normal
Exactly.
body type, but there is also something in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, they are so quick to label you as plus
Plus
size.
size.
And I'm just like, guys, it really surprises me. You know, there are certain things I cannot say because I still want to work in this industry. But it really surprises me, the standards that we have set for young people, you know.
Exactly.
And it's not just pageantry, it's our whole industry. And I don't mean that don't be fit. I am not one to promote any kind of, you know, obesity. I'm not one to promote, you know, an unhealthy lifestyle. But you need to be the fittest that you can be for your
Yeah.
particular body shape.
Exactly.
And
And
I've said this forever.
Exactly, you have to be fit as, and that's the message of body positivity.
Yes.
Right? You know, body positivity, it's not about promoting a certain type
That-
of
yes,
body. It's like
exactly.
loving your body is the process of loving your body. That's the whole
And
meaning of
getting to
body
a fitter
positivity.
shape and loving your body through the journey.
Throughout the
Sure,
journey,
like
exactly.
be whatever you want to be. But yeah, I really, I think this is a much bigger conversation to be had, and
Yeah.
not just here but
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess, like I said, in due time things are changing. You know, Miss Universe has always, you know, sort of, I think Sierra Virtual was 18 or 19? 16. So
Yeah.
you know, from there they started that. Same year Netherlands was also a plus size beauty,
Okay,
I think.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the same year as Canada.
Okay.
So yeah, so the things are happening. The ball is
Happening.
rolling.
Yeah.
I think it'll eventually reach everywhere that it needs to.
Yeah, it's taking time, but when it will happen for good.
Quickly, yeah,
Quickly,
yeah.
exactly. Moving ahead, what are your future plans?
So after Supra was over, very quickly I knew that I wanted to be an actor. Actually, I always dreamed of being an actor, and I've said this multiple times, but I was so fearful that I didn't think I had what it takes to be an actor. And it honestly took me 1-2 years to just convince myself that I can pursue this, I can learn, I can be what I want to be. And then the lockdown happened. But I have been pursuing acting for about 2-3 years now. I also did my first film.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Thank you. It'll release sometime this year, I'm hoping. So it's about this group of girls, and it's a very fun story. It's a little bit dark also. It's very exciting for me as an actor.
Oh,
Let's see
wow.
when it comes out. So that journey has started.
So excited, congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, that is, so my goal is just to be the best actor that I can be, and I think everything will just
I'm
follow.
sure it will go amazing. I manifest that.
Thank you.
Talking about manifestation, do you believe in manifestation? Because I do.
Absolutely.
You believe in manifestation?
Absolutely. I think that manifestation, spirituality, I'm a deeply spiritual person, always have been. They go hand in hand. I do think the concept of manifestation is very misunderstood.
Yeah.
I do think that I misunderstood it for a very long time. People think that you sit and you wish for what you want and it happens.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all. The law of attraction demands action.
Demands, exactly.
It demands work on your
yeah.
dreams. But I absolutely do believe in the law of attraction and manifestation. And a lot of things that I wished for have come true. Some have come true almost immediately. Some have taken years to come true. And those years I had to do the work on my mind to release my limiting beliefs. But absolutely, it works.
Exactly. It demands work. Manifestation demands work. But it's about, you feel that. It's like...
You can accelerate the process when you are believing the possibility of it already having happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So even this talk show, I was trying to, make this happen since last 8 months.
Wow.
And it was not happening. It was happening. Like there were so many issues coming, and finally it was like, yeah, let's make this happen.
But can I please give you some credit, Malik, because it is not easy to, I know you told me off camera you're only 20 years old, and I feel like you have your own magazine. You run one of the characters, the biggest pageant portal,
one of the biggest
pageant portals in the world. On social media, and now this. I really admire you. I was not achieving such big things when I was just 20.
It's because of support. If I don't get support, I won't be able to do this.
But it is the fact that you have a vision and a dream. And people support, and the universe supports a person who has a dream and is working towards it. So I really admire you, and I hope that you are able to achieve all of your biggest dreams for yourself and for pageant and innovation.
Thank you so much. It means a lot coming from you. Now let's do a moment, guys. We will request, the behind the scenes camera also to cover it. Like Shefali, you wear your crown and give us the moment, like a diva moment.
Okay. Should I? It's been a while since I put this.
One more time. We'll take it. Okay, at the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, go. Yay, let's go. The diva moment.
When I wore this crown for the first time, the best thing is that a lot of times if you see, the crown doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It fit me perfectly.
I know, right?
It just sat there and I was like,
this is mine.
this is mine. And Yeah, it really is.
It's the one of the prettiest crown, to be
Crown,
honest.
yeah.
I love the pink color on it.
Yeah, me too.
Like it's the different shade of pink than the femina, like the Miss India
Yes,
crown.
yes,
It's the
yes.
different shade of
Shade
pink.
of pink.
So it's like you aspired for the pink crown. Like you visioned the pink crown. It didn't happen that year, but after 2 years, the pink crown
in
came.
a different way.
In a different vision.
And I also like the shape of this crown
yeah,
very
it's
much.
round, so it's like you can just fit it.
The fact that it goes like this, I
like a
love.
flower.
Yeah, I love it, and it. Whenever people ask me how does it feel, I said heavy.
Is it heavy?
It is heavy.
Do you get bump on your head?
No, you don't get a bump on your head because it has like a nice cushioning inside. But it is a crown that it is heavy, and if you wear it for like 3-4 hours, it does hurt.
Because I was interviewing one of the former Miss Universe in 1990, and they at that time they didn't have this cushion and all on their head.
Oh, it was just clips and
And then it's like they have to wear this for like 4 hours, 5 hours
Yeah,
in
yeah,
an
it
event,
hurts.
and they're
No,
like, oh my god, when I used to remove it, there used to be a bump.
No, I think the organization has been very very
Kind.
smart and kind, and they cushioned it. They gave us like a huge box that I carry it
Yeah.
in, and they've just made sure all of the problems are taken care of. So.
But it's good. It looks good on you. It looks
Thank
good
you.
on you.
I love this crown. Whenever somebody asks me what is this crown made of, I always say blood,
lot of
sweat, and
dedication.
blood, sweat, and tears. Literally, blood, sweat, and tears.
Amazing. I love this crown.
Thank
Actually,
you.
the first
I love
time
it
I'm
too.
seeing this crown, I saw the winner crown.
Oh,
This
you
is
haven't
the
seen
first time
it?
I'm seeing this
Oh,
crown. It's so
yeah.
pretty.
It's beautiful.
Exactly. Now moving ahead to the fun segment of this interview.
Okay.
And that is called the Never Have I Ever. So we have this with you. So
बहुत सारी पोल खुलने वाली है.
it's non-controversial actually.
Okay,
So I try to do it like
Vanilla.
Moving ahead. Okay. So the first is, never have I ever used my pageant skills to diffuse a real life awkward situation.
Yeah, of course.
Never have
What is the use of pageant skills if I can't use them?
It's not just about on stage and saying about
Yeah,
world peace, it's about-
100%.
Exactly. Moving ahead. Never have I ever had an unexpected and hilarious moment during a photo shoot.
Oh yeah, so many times. I'm very clumsy. I'm so clumsy. I fall. I've many times.
Okay. Never have I ever regretted a fashion choice during your pageant or post pageant.
I think during my pageant, I had a really amazing wardrobe. Post and pre, I have had many
Okay.
major problems when I was dressing myself.
Never have I ever laughed at a joke I didn't understand to be polite.
I still do it. If I don't understand sometimes, depending on the audience. Sometimes now I think I'm a little more secure, so I'll be like, I didn't really get it. But sometimes if you are not in that situation where you can ask, I'm like, हंस देते हैं, बाद में देखा जाएगा.
बाद में देखा जाएगा.
And hope that nobody
And
asks
then
you what did it mean.
Okay, then this is an unexpected question, and then you understood the joke and laughed alone.
Yeah. So, oh, that's what they meant. Oh no.
And then you laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. This is interesting. Never have I ever accidentally liked a very old post of someone while stalking on social media. And did you block them so the like does not go?
I did block somebody, and this was a couple of months ago only, because I had liked something, and yeah, I had to block them. I called my friend. I said, "Listen, I made a mistake. What do I do?" She said, "Okay, we are gonna block it." Yes.
Yes, that's I do. So I'm in college, guys, and I keep stalking people.
And then you block them.
Then I block them. I see
I
their
think
story.
a fake account is very important.
I do
on
have a
social
fake
media.
account.
Yeah.
I'm revealing. Yeah, no one would know I have
No,
a fake account.
yeah, no.
by the
I
way.
think it's very important
Yeah,
to have a fake account.
Yeah, to
definitely.
stalk the people you like,
From your fake account.
to stalk the people you don't like.
But you know, now I feel like, again, I think with age, no, you become a little bit more secure. I think it just happens, either it happens when you're younger or it happens, as you grow older. Even if you have liked somebody's, post accidentally, you're just like, okay, theek hai, ho gaya yaar. I mean, the person knows that unless it's somebody you have a crush on and you don't want them to know, that's a
that's
separate
what I do.
scenario. But yeah, I think it's okay. Theek hai yaar, I was stalking you, I admire you, I like you. Okay, great,
Yes,
it's
someone
fine.
you admire, if I'm stalking your
Then it's
account
okay.
and I like your post, it's fine. But
Yeah, and you have a
someone
crush
from
on
my
her.
college,
Yeah,
and
that
whom
is
I see-
problematic.
I see it them in my college.
Yeah, you see
and-
them every day and they have a notification of you. Yeah, that's
and
the
they're
problem.
like, kuch to gadbad. Moving ahead, never ever Googled myself.
Yeah. I still keep googling myself every now and then because I think that what is new? Have I missed something? Because I didn't Google myself enough when I was competing.
Yeah.
I was just like, nahi, I don't want to see it. But now you're just like, okay, show me.
Show me, what is
that about?
Okay, never have I ever pretended to be on the phone to avoid talking to someone. That's all I have. Okay, never have I ever given a wrong phone number to someone.
No, this is something I've never done. And I'll tell you what, I remember going on a shoot and there was this guy who asked for my number and I just don't know how to say no. I have this huge problem. I don't know how to say no. So what I thought was that I'll give him my number. And now some guys will wait till you go home or whatever. But this guy messaged me there and then only. So I was like, bach ka galat number de to besti ho jata hai. So I gave him the right number. Then he texted me there and then. Then I waited for the shoot to be over. Then I went home and I blocked him.
Yeah, that's good actually.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Okay, never have I ever been impressed by someone's intelligence.
Oh yeah, all the time. And I hope that I continue to come across intelligent people that I can be impressed by.
Okay. Never have I ever practiced my winning speech in front of a mirror.
So many times. But I would say, as an actor and also as a pageant queen, the training that I've gotten is that never practice in front of a mirror. हमें हमेशा बोला जाता है कि the mirror takes away from the genuineness of what you're saying, and I do
know,
agree.
right?
I do agree
Yeah.
with that as an actor. That then our focus is on हम कैसे दिख रहे हैं more than what we are feeling and what we need to say and what's going on inside.
Exactly.
So no, not in front of a mirror.
The last one. Never have I ever secretly disagreed with a judge's decision.
All the time. All the time. But I do think judges have some insight that maybe we don't have. But if you have competed with somebody for like 30 days, 35 days,
Yeah.
I'm sure, why not?
Why not?
All the
Exactly.
time.
It's
As pageant queens, we always
Yeah.
think we know the best.
You know the best, yeah. Even like not just you, even the audience
Everybody,
is like, yeah.
Even the audience think, no, we don't agree.
We
with
don't
this.
agree
Yeah,
with
we
the
don't
winner.
agree. Yeah, all the time.
So this is a very interesting segment of this interview, and with that is guess the movie's name by its translation.
Oh God.
So we have Hindi cinema, and you have to guess its name.
Please don't judge my acting skills on the basis of my knowledge on this. But okay.
Okay. This is hilarious, the first one, and that is Love Found Jewels and Wealth.
Love found jewels and wealth.
Yeah.
This is a translation. Love found jewels and wealth.
Okay, guess it, and then I'll be kind and I'll give you the real name. Yeah, you are right.
प्यार.
No. Other name of Pyar.
Other name of प्यार क्या होता है?
They're Pyar.
What is that? Is it प्रेम? Is it प्रेम रतन धन पायो? Oh!
Right.
Okay. Good.
I am alone, you are alone.
तुम भी अकेले नहीं मैं भी अकेले तुम भी अकेले
I am alone, you are alone.
I am alone मैं अकेला तुम अकेले ये कौन सी मूवी है नहीं है ना I am alone
Yeah.
मैं what
Okay, one more of this. We are alone, you are alone.
हम अकेले तुम अकेले क्या है हम अकेले तुम अकेले का ना मूवी
It's अकेले हम अकेले तुम.
अकेले ये तो पुरानी फिल्म है ना
Third is जानवर.
एनिमल ये भी ना पता हो तो प्रॉब्लम है
Okay, someone has been found.
कोई मिल गया that's funny that's nice
Okay, and the last one. I have given my heart away, darling.
मैंने दिल दे दिया है सनम is this a movie
Yeah. Oh.
is this a movie
Yeah, it's a movie.
oh my god I'm
So
so
you
happy
won all. You won all of it.
oh yay
Let's go. It
no
was
except one I didn't get that अकेले हम
Yeah, but you were almost there.
Almost there.
You were almost there. So it was amazing.
oh lovely
Anything you want to ask me before we end this? We have time.
I didn't ask you before that the camera was off, so I can ask you on
Yeah, it's
camera. I want to ask you, what is your vision for pageant and innovation? Where do you see yourself, let's say 5 years from now? Where do you see P&I 5 years
Oh,
from now.
P&I is my baby. So for me, pageant and innovation, right? So I've uncovered the word pageant. Okay, I've done a pageant magazine. I've interviewed pageant people. I've known your pageant story, right? So now I'm uncovering the word innovation. So in this guest interview, when I told you yesterday, we have a acid attack survivor coming as a guest today evening. So we'll know her story. She doesn't have a pageant background. She doesn't have a glamour background, but she's here, to tell her story. And that's what I'm uncovering the word innovation. And with my upcoming pageant, we have a tagline which is called as where every story is a crown. That's the tagline of the pageant.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not released yet. So when we
Okay.
release this interview, it will be also released by that arena of time.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is the where every story is a crown. So that's what I want to appreciate. When you see a Miss India, we saw your gown, we saw your crown, we saw your crowning moment. But right now we came to know, the struggles you went through, the talk about body positivity, friends, family, and everything. So I want to uncover that portion of pageantry, which is right now I think we are kind of missing because back then we knew Sushmita Sen's story, we knew Priyanka Chopra's story, we knew Yukta Mukhi's story, but right now somewhere as a pageant media we are lacking to know a Miss India's story.
It is a bit superficial, yes.
Yeah.
We don't really take the time and the energy to get into. And I don't think it's entirely, media's fault. I do think that even the audience,
the viewers,
the
yeah.
viewers are not really keen on knowing more. And when they know more, they tend to find flaws and faults, They want to see beauty queens and actors and, people they admire as people that
They think.
that they think are perfect.
Exactly, and that's what are the disadvantages
Sure.
of social media.
Yes,
Social media came up with advantage. We got connected, and
Yes.
this happened, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, there's so many things that happen on social media. People are too free to tell their views,
Yeah.
which is sometimes
Very
not
bad.
right.
Not needed and very bad.
Exactly. And so this question we didn't go through interview. I want to ask you right now. Any advices that you have for a future aspirant who wants to come in pageantry, in acting, or in modeling? The advices that you didn't heard, but you experienced and you want to give them.
It's a very good question actually, and I think the first thing that comes to mind is that nobody prepares you for how hard it is. Whether it's pageantry, whether it's acting, whether it's living alone away from family in a city like Mumbai, which is very, very fast
difficult.
and can be very lonely. I think nobody can prepare you for it even if they try. So I think that you have to be very, very resilient and very, very mentally strong, emotionally very sound to be able to survive in an industry, because it is an industry full of rejection. You are rejected almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You have to really, really believe in yourself and have belief in something greater than yourself. I think you have to cultivate a circle of friends, and you have to make sure you don't get caught up in the superficiality of it all.
Exactly.
Even if you want to become a Miss India, even if you want to become an actor, sure, there's fame, money, success, all of that. And this is also my learning. Like, we get, as young people, we are so blinded by that. But make sure you really love the craft. Make sure you really love the fact that Miss India comes with the responsibility, the fact that being an actor means months of struggle before you make it. And make sure you really love
The
what you're
process.
doing and the process of it rather than the end goal
Exactly.
and the consequence of it.
Exactly. And guys, if you don't know, Shefali really advocates about mental health awareness. I remember in third edition you wrote
Yes,
you
I
wrote
did.
things around mental health, right? And that's what she's speaking about. Mental health is really, really important, as this industry takes away your physical energy. We are ready to give you physical energy,
Physical
but
and
mental
mental.
energy is like
More than
More
physical.
than
yeah,
physical, exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Mental health is everything. I
Mental
say
health
this,
is everything.
all the time. I say this to everyone I meet. Mental health is everything. If you are in the best of health, first of all, you cannot be in the best of health if you're not in
Exactly.
the best of health mentally. But even if you are in the best of health physically, you have money, you have success, you have fame, you have a good family, all of those things diminish in value if you are not taking care of
Mentally
your
fit,
mental health. If
exactly.
you're not mentally fit, and that doesn't necessarily have to mean depression or something on the spectrum or anxiety. It can also mean a sense of dissatisfaction. It can also mean being trapped in your past traumas. It can also mean not having healed from the things that have happened to you.
Yeah.
It comes in so many different shapes and sizes, and I cannot relay the fact enough that mental health is everything.
It's everything, exactly. And when your mind is happy, your body is happy.
It trickles
It
down in
reflects
every
around.
area of your
Yeah,
life.
exactly. Very well said. And this marks a beautiful end of this amazing conversation. Shefali, I really had an amazing time talking
Me
to you.
too. Thank you for
We
having
didn't
me.
realize it took about an hour.
I tend to talk a lot.
No, I love
I
it.
start talking.
45 minutes, yeah. So it's about an hour, right? And we were just having a good conversation and really liked having this time with you.
Me too. Thank you for
Anything
having
at last you would like to share that we missed out in this interview?
me. No, I think we pretty much covered it. And if there is anything that's missing, I'm sure there's going to be a next time.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully I will have more to say, more to share. And just,
And I wish you all the best for your movie.
thank you.
I'll go,
Thank
if
you.
it's in theater, I'll go to theater first day, first show. If it's on OTT, I'll subscribe to that OTT platform and I'll be
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, let's go, Shefali.
I really hope it's a turning point in my life. One has already happened, which was
Miss Diva.
Yeah, Miss Diva.
Exactly.
And I hope that this is the second
Second
one.
time, exactly.
So yeah.
Now, moving ahead, before we end this, there is a segment of Chai and Glamour. So I'll just tell a story behind Chai and Glamour. Okay, so it's like having a fun conversation. We all are in this glamour field. So I just wanted to uncover this aspect of glamorous, which we see lights, camera, but there's lots of things that go behind these
Behind
lights
it,
and
yes,
camera,
yeah.
right? So I just wanted to uncover that. That's why it's Chai and Glamour. It's interesting. And end word in my journey has been very consistent, like P and I, pageant and innovation, Chai and Glamour. So the end is like,
Oh, that's nice.
I mix something with everything.
I like that. I really like the idea of that. And also I really like that when you say innovation or when you use and, that means there's always a continuity.
Continue.
Like
Exactly.
there are no limits.
Limits, exactly.
There are no boxes. There are no stereotypes. Like there is always room for more. So
More,
this
yeah.
and, pageant and,
And,
try
yeah,
and. There's
exactly.
always more.
More, yeah.
And I love that. That's
Thank
really
you so much.
beautiful.
I didn't even realize, it's always for more.
Yeah,
but
there's
it
always
happens.
room for more.
Exactly.
There's always, which is who we are as human beings, right? That there's always room to expand, to grow, to evolve, to become more of who you are.
Exactly.
And I think that applies to everything in life.
Exactly. Very well said. Now there is a segment called as A Million Dreams.
Okay.
So there's a dream flyer and there's a letter right there. So you have to sign, like you have to write 2 lines and you have to sign that letter and you will be sticking that letter on that A Million Dreams wall with a dream catcher.
Okay.
So it will signify memory.
Oh, I love that. It's
And-
like a coffee with Karan kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's called the current with pageantry aspect.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So it's like, we are a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. You are a dreamer.
I'm a
exactly.
dreamer, definitely.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
should we go ahead with that?
Yes, let's do it.
So